What is up, YouTube? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is I, Kio of the Kios. Hey, I wanted to do something a little bit different. It is currently 4:30 in the morning, but I woke up in the middle of the night, read some of the patch notes, and I wanted to make a quick YouTube video for you guys covering the patch notes, covering the new hero Grim.exe. And yeah, so without further ado, let's watch the hero trailer for Grim, see some of his abilities, and let's talk about it, and let's go through the patch notes as quickly as possible, right? Let's do it. I'm so excited for this hero.
Initiate combat systems. Grim and his trusty killing machine EXE are blasting onto the battlefield. Together, they make the combination hero Grim.exe, a powerful ranged utility carry capable of switching fire modes mid-fight to adapt to any combat scenario. Grim.exe's primary ability is Displacement Blast, that changes based on which battle mode they're in. In Sentry mode, they fire a deadly and powered shot
they're a
that deals
stance
magical damage
switcher.
to hit targets. In Assault mode, Grim.exe instead lobs a ball of energy towards enemies, displacing them away from the center of the explosion. This ability is really flexible, useful for keeping your opponents at a distance by blasting them away if they get too close, or for more offensive plays, aiming behind the enemy to push them closer to you or your team to secure the takedown. Grim.exe has two primary battle stances, Sentry mode and Assault mode, and their secondary ability, called Assault mode, switches between those two stances. The Assault mode stance improves the power of Grim.exe's basic attacks and primary ability. For example, in Assault mode, Grim.exe's basic attacks deal bonus on-hit magical damage and apply decaying slow to targets. When in Sentry mode, however, their basic attacks deal less overall damage, but instead restore mana. Switching between
It looks like he's adding a bubble to himself,
on the battlefield.
like a
Grim.exe's alternate ability is Energy Shield, where they activate an electrical shield around them for a short duration.
I was right.
That blocks the next incoming enemy ability. If the shield successfully blocks an ability, Grim.exe recharges a portion of their missing mana. This ability is perfect for avoiding enemy crowd control or those high damaging abilities.
I wonder how long that lasts.
Shield has a very short duration, making this defensive skill extremely strong but tricky to master. Grim.exe's passive ability is Pulse Fire, which modifies their basic attacks to deal magical damage. Landing an ability or basic attack will apply Pulse Fire to a target for a short duration. If Grim.exe hits the same target with Pulse Fire applied to them, they'll deal extra on-hit damage. This makes Grim.exe great at taking short trades or simply poking the enemy laner, but it can also be used to create powerful combo attacks. Try using Displacement Blast to apply a stack of Pulse Fire onto a target. Then use Grim.exe's ultimate ability to deal massive burst damage. Speaking of which, Grim.exe's ultimate
They
ability
kept the name
is
GTFO.
After charging up, they launch a devastating gyro-targeted Force Orb, a blast of energy that tracks an enemy target and chases them down, even passing through terrain until it hits them. Escaping GTFO is nearly impossible, but such power comes at a cost. Charging the attack leaves Grim.exe significantly slowed, making you vulnerable to enemy counterattacks.
That's got some range to it.
Grim.exe's critical strike chance, damage, and physical power are great for enabling them to burst down targets quickly. Get ready for combat mode with Grim.exe. Coming to Predecessor on,
of course, they add the hot rod skin
and PC.
So that was Grim.exe. We're going to cover version 17 of the upcoming update, which this will come out 12 p.m. April 11th, 2024. So 12 p.m. GMT on Thursday. So for me, that's basically Friday. For most of you guys, it'll be Wednesday night, if I'm doing my math right. You guys should know what 12 GMT is for you guys. But let's cover what they're talking about in the introduction. The first line items, of course, is talking about Grim after the introduction. So we'll cover more about Grim after watching the video after this introduction. So, introduction. Greetings, champions. As the dust settles on our momentous open beta launch, we thought it'd be grim. I see what they did there. To go much longer without any game update. We're excited to get back to our regular game updates. This is important because remember they pushed back Argus's update by a week, and doing so, they pushed everything else back. So this actual version 18 is coming, or version 17, sorry, is coming 10 days after the last update. So they're trying to make up time here. Deliver the big content releases we teased earlier this year on Robbie's Pred Talk. So they have a link if you want to go read that. With that said, however, version 17 is a smidge smaller than some of our other updates. This is because version 18 will include the highly anticipated 6th item. So we're currently going into version 17 on Thursday. So version 18, so roughly in 6 weeks, they will include the anticipated 6th item slot, as well as a bunch of all new items and a drastic rebalance of the entire game. So that's going to be interesting. A rebalance of the entire game. Obviously, with 6 items, they're going to have to change a lot. Gold drip. They're going to have to change how much you start off with gold. Change the timing of things so that way maybe it's not going to be a 45-minute game anymore. It'll be a lot shorter. We'll see. To say nothing of all other significant features it will release with. I'm super excited for this. That said, however, version 17 doesn't break the binary by bringing not just 0, not just 1, but 2 new targets to shoot at in the form of Grim and his trusty killing machine.exe. So this is a toy on the fact that Grim.exe is a robot being controlled by a fairy, not just one character. Grim.exe isn't all, however, we've added the ability to set per hero casting options. This has been a requested option for a while. What this means is that each hero that you play, you're actually going to be able to control whether if you want it on instant cast or you want it on quick cast or you want it on normal, things of that nature, which is huge because there are some heroes that you don't want normal cast on, or you want to be able to have to confirm that you're using the ability. And then there's also heroes that you want to use quick cast on. I'm so used to using quick cast on most of my heroes, but there are some heroes that maybe I want to be able to use my normal casting on, as opposed to just hitting the button real quick and then it automatically activating. So in-game settings and have your choices persist between matches. So what this is getting at here is that you're not going to be able to go into the main menu settings and change this per hero right now. It sounds like they're planning it for the future, but currently each match you play with the hero, you can go into the settings and then change whether you want it to be quick cast or normal or anything like that. That way in the next game that you play with that hero, it's set up for that hero, but you have to play that hero first and set it up in match. Some fantastic new Oriental inspired skins for Countess and Wraith, as well as a sweep of balance improvements and bug fixes. So they did say this was going to be a little bit smaller. They're adding a new hero, they're adding some skins, and they adding the casting option, I think is the most prominent thing that's coming out in this patch, which the casting thing is a really highly requested thing for the game. So new hero appeals. New hero appeals. So engage kill mode with Grim.exe. A grizzled gremlin and his personal sentry combat robot EXE are ready to engage. A lot of people will call him Grim.exe. His proper name is Grim.exe. Grim.exe is a utility caster whose range flexibility lends itself to offensive plays and defensive plays alike. Whether you like tearing up the battlefield with a powerful precision or controlling combat with strategic slows and disruptive displacements, Grim.exe has a mode for the job. So having him as a stance switcher is pretty great. Wukong is a stance switcher. I really enjoy Wukong. I'm excited to see how Grim.exe is going to be in the game, and then having it to be where most people have to think about switching stances is going to be good in my opinion. So we've already watched the ability overview just now. So let's go over the abilities real quick. So his passive, Grim.exe's basic attacks are modified to deal magical damage. Grim.exe's basic attacks and abilities apply pulse fire to enemy targets. Hit for 4 seconds. The next basic attack or ability will burst the pulse fire and deal 10 plus 20% total physical power plus 20% magical power bonus true damage on hit. This is big right here. The magical power bonus true damage. So we got to see if most of his attacks are going to be bonus physical, but adding in that magical damage is pretty good. It's basically having prophecy on mages, but as a passive ability. Pulse Cannon is his basic attack. Is a ranged basic attack dealing 52 plus 90% bonus physical power. Remember, all basic attacks in Predecessor deal physical damage, no matter if you're a mage character or not. Oh, they added in videos for each ability. That's pretty cool. So Displacement Blast. So that's his basic. He switches stance, and then it displaces where it hits. It doesn't look like a big displacement, so it doesn't look like that big of a deal. However, it could disrupt abilities. For example, if Grux was coming at you and you hit the displacement blast, maybe his charge doesn't get hit. So it fires an empowered shot that deals this amount of damage, plus 70% bonus physical power, plus 75% bonus magical power. In assault mode, the shot is lobbed and displaces enemies away from the center of the explosion. So this is big. This is, remember that you're doing more damage when you're in your primary mode, in what they're calling the sentry mode. And then it changes how it reacts in your assault mode. So in your sentry mode, you get that plus 75% magical damage. Switching between sentry and assault mode, you can see in your assault mode you get this little effect on your weapon. Costs 0 mana and the cooldown's 0.25 seconds, so you can basically switch back and forth pretty immediately. So when you're in sentry mode, basic attacks restore mana, but while you're in assault mode, pulse cannon shots cost more mana. They deal plus 15% total physical power, plus 20% magical power. Deflector shield, which is his alternate ability. It costs 0 mana, which is huge. And basically what it does is adds a quick spell shield to you. So if you've ever picked up Spellbreaker, you understand that you get a bubble around you that blocks the next incoming ability, no matter what ability it is, or the first ability it blocks, and then it goes away. But it looks like you can right click and then use this ability or whatever it is on controller, and then block the next ability, and that's just one of his abilities. That'll be massive. It'd be kind of interesting. I bet you there's going to be people that try to build Spellbreaker on him. That way he basically gets 2 ability shields. That'd be really interesting. It does look like it has got a high cooldown, especially at first. So picking this up as a first level probably is not going to be that good. Maybe later on when it's full level 14, along with items that reduce the cooldown, it'll be very useful to use this item. So Grim.exe activates a shield for 1 second, so that's not a long time. So that's going to mean that you're going to have to definitely use it at the correct time. You're going to have to definitely get used to how long it lasts, and you're definitely going to have to get used to seeing what abilities the enemies are going to be using. If the shield successfully blocks an enemy ability, Grim.exe restores 20, 25, 30, 35, 40% of his missing mana. Oh, that's percentage. Oh, that's huge. Oh, that's going to be really good. That's going to keep him in the fight for long. All right, and then GTFO. Activated. So GTFO, Grim.exe slows himself by 60% and locks onto an enemy hero after a short channel, a GTF gyro targeted force orb. I like how they put that in there because we all know exactly what GTFO actually stands for. Is launched. The orb will pass through the world and non-hero units, but can be blocked by enemy heroes. Okay, so getting shot at by GTFO will go through walls will go through non-hero units, so it'll go through like Fangtooth or Prime minions, things of that nature, any camps, and hit an enemy unit, enemy hero. But it's saying it'll be blocked by enemy heroes, so you can go in and if you're like the tank of the team, you can jump in front of it and take the damage for your teammate. The orb deals damage, plus 120% bonus physical power, plus 90% magical power, magical damage. So 100%. So you're going to be building a lot of physical power with Grim.exe. However, the bonus 90% magical power is really good because a lot of times your enemy carry will be building physical damage and then physical armor for your like your offlaner or something. So you're able to shred through enemies quickly because of the magical power. So new skins, I'm super excited for these. In my opinion, Wraith looks like an Evangelion, if you guys ever watched that anime. But I'm excited to have like them creating multiple skins for other heroes, not just coming out with Paragon original skins, you know? The Shogun Countess skin looks really awesome. I'm excited for it. This render of it looks really good. You can expect the first time I play Countess, I will be using this this render as a thumbnail, so be prepared for that. And Silver Ghost Kwong, strike like a ghost in the night with the new Silver Ghost Kwong skin. It's common. So one thing I noticed, I wish they changed the color of these to match what rarity it was. So for Shogun Wraith, they put uncommon, but it's in white. This should have been green. And then rare, I believe this should have been blue, not white text. It should have been a blue text here. And same thing for common. This should have been white. That's a nice looking skin. It does look like a common skin. So in post-processing, I will put up the chart of all the prices for these, so that way you guys know for sure what the prices are, because they don't put the prices into the patch notes themselves. They just put common. So it'd be nice to see like how much this common skin would cost. But if you know everything's the same. So if you know how much a common skin costs, you know how much a common skin costs. I believe it's 500 platinum. So Hot Rod Grim.exe. So Hot Rod, it's another Paragon asset. And they're making it a common skin, which is good. So it'll be about 500 platinum. New bundles. So I'm glad they're doing bundles. This is a great way to keep their monetization up, especially after they add Amber, in order to Amber be able to buy hero cosmetics, because the bundles, I believe, will stay bundles where you have to pay full price for them. And you'll get things like, you'll obviously get the hero, but if you have the hero, it's retrospective. So if you already have the hero, the bundle price will go down. Shogun Wraith skin. So again, the price will go down if you already have it. And then the Shogun Wraith spray. So you're essentially buying the spray with real money. And then as you buy everything else with Amber, the spray price will go down because of the bundle. Same thing for Countess. You get a Countess spray, which I think is really cute. I bet you can use this in Discord already. And then the Hot Rod Grim.exe bundle. You don't have any spray with them, but I bet you they added another spray into the store or into the shop or something like that. So per hero cast options, this is user. Please share our new customization settings for each hero, meaning you can now set unique cast options between default, normal, quick, instant on per hero basis in the gameplay settings menu. These settings are persistent, remembered by the game between matches, but can only be currently changed while you're playing that hero. So again, you can't go into the main menu settings and then change it per hero. You have to be in game playing that hero to change it, but it remembers it afterwards. So you only have to do it once. Controller cast option changes. We've changed the default settings for casting on controller from quick to a new variant of the normal setting. But what exactly is normal in today's society, and what are other options available in the in-game settings? Let's break it down. Default, the same as normal, but with a few tweaks that match the default options used by keyboard and mouse players on PC. So I'm guessing that's going to be, I don't know what that means, because normal is press to show targeting indicators, click to confirm. So that's interesting, because that's what I'm used to being normal. Quick, hold to show targeting indicators, release to confirm, and instant is what I use. Skip target, or I'm sorry, I use quick cast. Instant skip targets indicators and immediately confirm on press. So this is going to be more of your skill shot things, or your abilities that don't require you to target anything, or you can use it real quick. For example, I would do this on like Gideon's blink or his teleport ability, because there's no reason for me to target anything. I just got to throw it out, right? So I would change Gideon's teleport to an instant cast instead of a quick cast. And then you can change the settings at any time in the settings menu. So again, you have to be playing the character. So the cleanse CC immunity. So we all know that CC is a big issue in the game right now, and CC is a big meta. You know, if you hit an enemy and they can't get out of the CC, you pretty much killed them, right? So they're changing the cleanse CC immunity window on use increase from 0.25 seconds to 0.35. I'm pretty sure that's just upping the cleanse for every item that has a cleanse ability to it. Items, abilities, etc. Hero changes Argus. Argus's health decreased from 620 to 605, so that's a nerf right there. So all you people that are asking for the Argus nerf, here you go. Damage decrease, so for his Dread Nova, his primary ability, 80, 105, 130, 155, 180 to 70, 95, 120, 145, 170. Okay, so they dropped that down again. That's being nerfed. Mana cost increase 60, 65, 70, 75, 80 to 80. So it looks like his Dread Nova, instead of scaling up with mana, they're just making it to where it's 80 outright. And his ultimate ability, magical power scaling, decreased from 30% to 25%. So his Dread Nova is not going to do as much damage anymore. Drongo damage decreased from 200, 310, 410 for his ultimate ability to 185, 300 to 415. So they only dropped it for his first level by 15, second level by 10, and then third level by 5. Realistically, you build Vanquisher on Drongo a lot of times, so you're not going to really feel that. Quality of life change for Gideon, okay. Now commits its cooldown and activates its effects immediately when used. So this is actually pretty big, because his ultimate ability only activated its cooldown and its effects when it started doing damage. But now that as soon as you activate it, now it activates. So that way, if you're good with your stuns, Gideon pops his ultimate and you immediately grab him. Like if you're Richter, where you stun him with like a shield bash from Steel or something like that, it'll automatically put his cooldown, his ultimate on cooldown. Whereas before, if you did it as soon as he did it, he would instantly get his ultimate back, because theoretically his ultimate wasn't used because there was no damage applied to it. So that's huge, and I'm actually happy that's in. Oh, what they do to my boy Grux. So health decrease from 640 to 630. That's no big deal. He was a bruiser anyway. Taking 10 less health isn't that big of a deal. Damage decrease from 5 plus 3 per level to 3 plus 3 2 level. So it's a damage nerf, so he's going to be doing a little bit less damage, but he's still Grux, guys. Respect the Grux, all right? Cooldown decrease from 22 to 18. So that's actually big. So now that his smash and grab, so his pull ability, will come off cooldown quicker, and he'll be able to use it more quickly. Iggy, his Molotov magical power scaling increased from 45 to 50. So Iggy is getting a buff. His Molotov cocktail is going to be doing more damage. And keep in mind, it's magical power scaling. So definitely build that magical pan items on Iggy, guys. Kwong physical armor decreased from 32 to 30. So Kwong is getting a nerf. Physical armor growth decreased from 4.8 to 4.5. Yeah, so he's getting an overall nerf here. Shield bonus health scaling decrease from 7 to 6%. Yeah, so they're just bringing Kwong down a little bit. Kwong is another character that you got to get used to playing and understand his kit and basically learn him very well in order to play him. Now they're nerfing him, so he's going to be a little bit harder to play now. So you just got to have to play more rounds with him in order to get used to him. So Bellica attack speed decreased from 130 to 125. That's not too much. That's not really my issue with Bellica. My issue with Bellica is her stun. It's an instant stun instead of a travel from point A to point B stun. If you're in range of her stun, you're getting stunned, right? So instead of seeing the stun come out and then being able to sidestep it left or right, I mean, that's what I wish they did, but they're not doing that. Damage decreased from 75 to 55 at max, from 75 to 235 at max for the Void Bomb. So, I mean, the Void Bomb's still going to hurt. Players are still going to stun and then Void Bomb you. And it's still going to hurt. Even with this nerf, it's just not going to do as much. Magical power scaling decreased from 65 to 60%. She's still a mage. She's still going to hurt. That little less just means that she's just not going to insta-kill you every single time. However, a full rotation with her ultimate ability still insta-kill you. Real shield increase from 290, 280 at max to 110, 290 at max, which this is a slight buff. It's not huge, but it's a slight buff. Muriel's still great, but getting a little bit extra shield is still going to be good. Revenant movement speed increased from 650 to 655. This is pretty big, mainly and primarily because Revenant doesn't really have an escape. He's more of a chaser and somebody who, you know, pulls you into the shadow realm and just kills you, right? He's going to be in the fights most of the time doing the massive damage. Whereas, like, if he runs away, if he starts running away, you can pretty much kill him. So having that slight movement increase is going to be good to for him to either escape or get into combat quicker. Physical power growth increased from 2.4 to 3. So again, he's just getting a power scaling increase as well. Revenant strong as it is, a lot of people say that he needed a nerf or needed a buff, but I just think he was fine the way he is. None of this is really going to hit very hard. You're going to feel it maybe slightly, but at the same time, a good Revenant is going to put you in the ground anyway. So Obelisk magical penetration decreased from 8 to 6. So getting those Obelisk stacks is going to be more now. Raiment of Renewal, a very useless item, but regenerator damage regenerated decreased from 10 to 8. A lot of people don't build Raiment of Renewal, and now they're just not going to build it even more now. I mean, who builds it? Time Flux Band magical penetration decreased from 8 to 6. Okay. Time Warp base mana regen decreased from 150 to 125%. It looks like they're debuffing some mana and some magical pin items, and I'm betting it's to get ready for version 18 with the new items. And then lastly, bug fixes. Fix a bug where Morgesh would not correctly heal when using her swarm on close range target. Who cares? Morgesh, take her out of the game. Nobody cares. No, I'm joking. No, that's good. Using her swarm, you definitely want to be able to heal. Because if you don't, I mean, what's the point? Speed's the point. Fix a bug where Kwong could fall under the Orb Prime pit ledges when using his ultimate. That's funny because that happens to a lot of characters like Steel when using his ultimate. So, I mean, at least they're fixing them. Fix a bug where Grux's Warlord skin channel trail visual effect could sometimes play incorrectly. Fix a bug where Fang Mao's Earth Shatter sound effect could stop midway. I've heard that before. Fix a bug where Fang Mao's stun animation could fail to play, and fix a bug where players could become soft lock if they left the fountain with the crest screen active. Interesting. I haven't tried that, but the bug has been fixed. So if it's happened to you, rejoice. Fix a bug that caused ability inputs to become unresponsive after canceling abilities that are quick cast on controllers. So that's good. Not a lot of big bug fixes here. They didn't mention Stormbreaker's visual effect bug where it was squished on the first tier 1 items. That's interesting. I've been waiting for that bug fix just because it's something that should be easy to fix. That's everything this time, champions. What do you think? Let us know on our feedback on the Discord server and Predecessor subreddit. Until next time, carry lead community manager at Omega Studios. So that's it, ladies and gents. That was kind of I would say a quick video, but that was a 30-minute video. I'm going to see if I can trim it down some real quick and get this patch notes out to you guys. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you, if you like this kind of content, let me know. If you really don't care about me going over the patch notes, also let me know. It's something that I can do. It's really easy to do because I'm basically just reading it to you guys and kind of giving my input on what that means. But other than that, I mean, if you guys don't really care to read it because you guys like to read the patch notes yourselves and you're smart enough to understand what the patch notes mean, just let me know. Like, hey, it is not really necessary to do these kind of content. But if it is, if you like it, just let me know. It's just more content, things that I can do. But yeah, if you like the video, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment down below on what you think should be included in the next patch. And what heroes should be coming out. And if you enjoyed this video, and yeah, with that, catch you guys in the next one, guys.